Why Carlos Alcaraz breaks the mold, tennis's new physical trend explained. The shifting landscape of tennis, why Carlos Alcaraz stands out from the crowd. The world of tennis is undergoing a seismic shift, and the playing field is changing rapidly. As the Big Three era comes to a close, a new generation of stars is rising to the top, led by the likes of Jannik Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz, and Alexander Zverev. But amidst this sea of change, one thing remains constant: the dominance of Novak Djokovic. The Serbian superstar remains the last bastion of the Big Three, and he's facing stiff competition from the new guard. But here's where it gets interesting. While Djokovic, Sinner, Zverev, and other top players are embracing a modern physical trend that emphasizes tall, lean physiques and powerful serves, Carlos Alcaraz is bucking the trend. According to French coach Patrick Mouratoglou, Alcaraz stands out as an exception to this trend, and it's a fascinating anomaly that's worth exploring. The modern body type: tall, lean, and powerful. In a recent Instagram clip, Mouratoglou pointed out that today's top male tennis players are increasingly tall and lean, with long arms that generate greater speed and power. He cited Djokovic, Sinner, Zverev, Tsitsipas, and Medvedev as examples of this modern body type, which is characterized by huge serves, powerful ground strokes, and a dominant playing style. But Alcaraz, the world number 2, doesn't fit this mold. Mouratoglou noted that Alcaraz is Alcaraz versus Federer. Patrick Mouratoglou reveals who's on a higher level. What if a seasoned coach claimed the next generation's star outplays a legend? That's exactly what Patrick Mouratoglou, Naomi Osaka's mentor, recently suggested when comparing Carlos Alcaraz to Roger Federer. But here's where it gets controversial. Mouratoglou isn't just praising youth over experience. He's arguing that modern tennis has evolved to a level even the GOATs couldn't match. And this is the part most people miss. While Federer's elegance will always be iconic, Mouratoglou sees Alcaraz as a new era player with a more aggressive, complete style. Let's break it down. Alcaraz's Wimbledon final loss to Jannik Sinner in 2024 marked his first major title slip-up. Yet, this defeat highlighted an enduring record. Federer still holds the mark for 5 Grand Slam titles by age 22. Alcaraz has since surpassed that, but we'll get to that. Now, Mouratoglou, a coach with a front-row seat to tennis evolution, has stepped into the spotlight with a bold take. In a recent Instagram video, he dissected Alcaraz and Federer's games, drawing parallels, but emphasizing a critical difference: Carlos plays the same way as Roger, but at a better level because it's new generations and tennis evolves. Mouratoglou's argument hinges on technique and mindset. Both players share a complete style: powerful forehands, aggressive backhands, tactical drop shots, and a willingness to come to the net. But Alcaraz, according to the French coach, executes these elements with more intensity and consistency. Who does that on tour? Not many, Mouratoglou said. Technically, others know how, but they don't dare during matches. This isn't just about skill, it's about fearlessness. And that's where the debate kicks in. Is it fair to compare players from different eras when equipment, training, and strategies have changed so drastically? Let's look at the numbers. At 22 years and 2 months, Alcaraz has already claimed 5 Grand Slam titles, including 2 Wimbledons and a French Open, a career-high world number 1 ranking, and 21 ATP titles. Federer, at the same age, had 1 Wimbledon crown and was ranked number 2. Alcaraz's stats dwarf Federer's early career achievements, but context matters. Federer played in an era with less physical competition, while Alcaraz faces rivals like Jannik Sinner and Novak Djokovic. So, is Alcaraz truly better, or is he simply adapting to a tougher landscape? That's up for debate. And here's another twist: Mouratoglou's comments aren't just about rankings. He praises Alcaraz's fluidity as similar to Federer's, but notes the younger player's game is more aggressive and less predictable. Federer's smoothness was legendary, but Alcaraz's versatility, mixing power, speed, and creativity, reflects modern tennis's demands. Roger is the smoothest player ever, Mouratoglou admits, but Carlos is pushing the boundaries. So, what's next? With the US Open looming and Jannik Sinner defending his title, the rivalry between Alcaraz and Sinner will likely shape the next chapter of tennis history. Will Alcaraz continue to outpace Federer's records, or will Sinner's tactical genius dominate? And here's the question we want your take on: should we judge today's stars by the same standards as past legends, or is evolution inevitable? Drop your thoughts in the comments, let's debate. Mouratoglou, Alcaraz is the exception. Big changes in tennis body types. The tennis world is witnessing a seismic shift, and Carlos Alcaraz is defying the odds. Patrick Mouratoglou, the mastermind behind Serena Williams' 10 Grand Slam titles and current coach of Naomi Osaka, has dropped a bombshell: the physique of elite tennis players is undergoing a radical transformation. Gone are the days of compact, powerful builds. Today's stars are towering and lean. But there's one glaring exception: Carlos Alcaraz. Mouratoglou recently sounded the alarm on Instagram, pointing out that giants like Djokovic, Sinner, Zverev, and Tsitsipas dominate the ATP Tour with their lanky, high-speed bodies. They are taller and thinner, with huge serves and blistering power, he noted. Alcaraz, however, bucks the trend with his shorter, muscular frame, and it's working. How? His explosive strength and agility let him outmaneuver taller opponents, proving that in tennis, innovation trumps convention. But here's where it gets controversial: Alcaraz just withdrew from the Toronto Open, citing small muscle issues and a desperate need for rest. He's not alone. Djokovic, Sinner, and Jack Draper also pulled out, sparking outrage over the ATP's grueling schedule. Critics argue the tour prioritizes profits over player health, forcing athletes into a relentless grind that sacrifices longevity for ticket sales. Alcaraz's apology to Canadian fans, "I need to recover for what's next," echoed a broader frustration: when will tennis prioritize sustainability over spectacle? The debate rages on. Is the new body type a sign of progress, or an unsustainable model that favors genetics over skill? And can the ATP afford to lose its biggest stars to burnout? Share your take. Should tennis overhaul its calendar to protect players, or is this just the cost of greatness?